All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I am your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio, also on camera, joined as always by Randy Angston.
Whoa, what's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. Well, I got to be honest with you. Got a good episode today.
Yes, sir.
After you're done listening to this, you're probably going to want to know more about the Iron Circle. So you can check that out at ironcircle.net. for more information about the mastermind. So this came up in a recent call that you had. There was a gentleman in a current mastermind. We won't name any other names, but he's looking for more, right?
Correct.
He's at a specific point in his business and he's like, hey man, I need out of this deal. I mean, I've been with him for several years and I'm outgrown it.
Yeah.
Essentially is what he was saying. And that's awesome. I would tell you guys this, if you're in a current mastermind and you've outgrown the mastermind, I would say, congratulations, that mastermind did its job, right?
Exactly.
It did its job. It got to a certain point, but there is only so far you can go in certain groups. And I've known this because I was in in masterminds when I was coming up that, there's no way that those groups would serve me anymore. I'm just well past that. And it's not to brag or anything. It's just like, hey, that's the reality of specific groups. And so how do you know when it's time to move on? How do you know if the coaching program you're in or the mentor you're using or the mastermind that you're in is just not serving you anymore?
Or how do you know if it is right for you in the beginning, maybe? I mean, our Iron Circle, we intentionally set a limit to a qualification basically to be able to sit in that seat, right? It's $30,000 a month in revenue before you can even apply for the Iron Circle. And the reason being is to intentionally force the caliber of conversation.
Yep.
We've worked with thousands of gyms over the last few years, and at different points of your business, you have different challenges. The conversation is different. But in order to ensure, if you may, that we keep the caliber and the growth opportunity for this group where it needs to be, that's the requirement that we set. And that was part of the way of making sure that the conversation's not, hey guys, I'm opening a gym. What's the first step? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like these guys are way past that. We need to be having much, much higher caliber, challenging, the status quo of this group and what they're capable of, not laying the foundation of the basics.
And it's tough when you're in a mastermind and you find yourself coaching the others so much that you're really not getting anything for yourself. That's probably a good sign. I would also take a look around. Are the people in the group doing things that you want to do? Are they at the revenue levels that you want to be at? Are they doing other things outside the gym that you want to be doing? If that's the case, that's a great place for you to be.
Yeah, that's where you should be sitting, right? They always say that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Like that's probably the easiest way of looking around, right? Like if you're the one, like you said, pouring all of the value into the group, everybody's coming to you for questions, or like the group just doesn't have the conversation or problem solving or the things that you need to continue to progress. If that's not happening, you got to look around.
Yeah. And I think the key to this whole thing is you have to know where you're at currently and you have to know where you want to be. And that's a big thing. Go back to the last episode if you want to listen about like what's winning to you? What do you want to be at? What's the level of growth that you want to get to? And there's a lot of ways to get there, guys. And I'm not here to say, hey, we're the best or the only mastermind out there. I will say we are the best.
We are. Let's go.
But we definitely aren't the only one, right?
No, absolutely not.
And when we created the Iron Circle, it was very intentional what we were doing.
Without a doubt. It was you mentioned it the last episode, there was a degree of selfishness involved.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see that caliber elsewhere.
Well, I was in a mastermind. Yeah. I was in the STS, and I'm not even sure if it's still around, but I met some of my best friends in that group, and we were all kind of starting out. This was several years ago. I want to say it's been about 8-9 years ago. And so at that time in my life, that was the perfect group for me. Some of my best friends are in that group, and they still are today. We're from that group. And, that was supposed to be kind of what we were doing, but there just wasn't enough out there. And so they started lowering the threshold, and there was no threshold at that point. And we looked around, and I said, hey, where's the mastermind or the coaching group or the group that is doing the best, the biggest things? And, and I would define that as, I guess 30,000, but like 50, 80, 100, 200,000, like whatever, if they have multiple locations a month, right? And where was that group? It didn't exist.
Looking like the industry is like top, 5 or 1% type of thing.
Didn't exist. And, there's a guy out here in Phoenix. His name's Joe Polish, and you guys probably heard of him. He's in the direct response marketing space. And really what we were trying to do is I was like, hey, when I look at his group, there was other big players in that group that were part of that mastermind called the Genius Network. And at the time it was Tony Robbins, it was Dean Graziosi, it was Russell Brunson. It was a lot of these big players that like, hey, they also have their own masterminds and they also are doing big things. And I wanted to model that. I was like, at some point, if we're going to attract the best in the industry to be in the Iron Circle, I have to be okay with these guys also having their own mastermind.
Yeah, they're developing businesses in other areas all over the place.
Yeah,
for sure.
And if you look inside of our Iron Circle, there are guys with their own masterminds for the fitness industry, and I'm okay with that because
Correct.
you know what that means? It means we got the best in our group.
That's exactly it.
And it was selfish because I wanted something for me personally. It was like, hey, who can I go to? And there wasn't anything, and so we created that.
And that's the thing, right? Like you created the room. You know what I mean? We opened up the opportunity for high caliber individuals that we like, trust, and respect, that we looked up to for their own levels of success in the realm, and gave them the opportunity to sit, pull up a seat at the table, right? And that was the inception of the Iron Circle, and where it's grown from there. It's we've parlayed that almost. You know what I mean? Like now the caliber of individual. I love that word today, apparently, but the individuals that are coming to the group are some of the industry's most recognized names, people that are changing the industry, not just running successful gyms.
Yeah. So if I'm a gym owner out in the space right now listening, it's like, yeah, that's the room I want to be in.
Hell yes.
And sometimes it could be intimidating. I'll be honest with you. We were in Todd Brown's mastermind, and he's in the digital marketing space, and I was outgunned and I knew it. I knew it going in. I was the smallest fish in that entire group. There was some conversations. It was hilarious to me. It was like, yeah, we've got a new offer and we're just going to test it with 600,000 this month.
I can still hear her voice talking about that.
She's going to test an offer with 600,000. I'm like,
she's working for billion-dollar organizations.
So. And I wanted to be in that group, and I was like, man, I have nothing to offer these folks because they are way out down the road. But we circled back. We're back with Todd again, and we're, of course, your coach, your mentor needs to have a mentor or coach or be in another group, because how are they growing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, anyways, the long and short of it was like we had to create this group, and it's grown, and we started with 5.
Yeah.
There's 5 gyms in 2019, and of course, 2020 was a bust. 21 we grew, and now we're over 30 gyms. And we'll probably get to 50 here real quick, and we're gonna have to make some game time decisions on how we want to approach that. But we know, there's that growth or scale episode. Growth or scale, and we know what we got to do. But there was the conversation that came up with the gentleman that was interested in it. He was in a mastermind. He was in a group, and he was like, hey, these guys are doing great for themselves, but I don't want to do what they're doing. They're just not that he was saying I'm better than them, but I'm just past it, right? And that's okay. And if you're at that level, we'd love to chat with you. But it's just like you're not serving yourself by sticking around if they're not, if you're not growing anymore. If he's basically capped, right?
And that's what it is. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? And to the point you said earlier, he's been part of that group for years. He's gotten what that group provides. He's pushed the limits to it, and that's a beautiful thing. But now that he's in that position, his choice is to look elsewhere, and he should, because his progression needs to be continual, right? And if he's not going to find it from that home, find a new home.
And if I'm the leader of that or the founder of that other mastermind, I should be very happy,
grateful
that somebody's moving on. I mean, you just can't serve everybody. And we can't serve the folks that are just not there yet. And we know that. And that's why we're a coaching program, to get you to 30K. And then past that, hey, we can get, there's guys, there's gyms in our group that are over 6 figures a month. Several of them. There's several that have, we got a franchisor in there with 28 locations. We've got guys with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 locations. And then we've got gyms in there with 1, and they're doing well and they're happy and they do other things. And that was the other thing about this was, I think there's like 6, I counted it the other day, there's 6 Iron Circle members that also serve the fitness industry on another level, right? We have nutrition, we've got, high ticket guy, we've got a marketing agency, we've got software guy in there. We've got also video and onboarding sequences and stuff like that. And I love it because we're all helping each other. And like, how cool is that we don't find that as competition?
Hell no.
I mean, 5 years ago, I would have been, dude, these guys are not coming in my group because they're going to steal all my stuff. That's all out the window. And we've just basically, we want the other.
Now, and not only that, but it's almost 100% the opposite. Scott released his book the other day. Like there was not a single person in the group that did not buy his book and help him out, right? Yeah. Everybody saw the value. He brought something to the table that everybody could learn from. Yep. Everybody jumped in and it was a mutually beneficial situation, right? Same thing with the agency side, right? Like we have access to an agency in the group that some clients need. Boom, here we go. You sourced it from that group. Software for certain things, client nurtures and onboards. Like that's the beautiful thing of this collective. And to me, that is the most beneficial aspect of it.
Powerful.
It's huge. Yeah. It's sourcing, from being able to continue moving forward without being stuck in a problem because you source the solution in the same 25 minutes that you found the problem in, to having the path forward with whether it be like I said, an agency or an outside vendor that you might need connection with, or even if it's just the information, it's right there. All you have to do is bring it to the table. And that sourcing that is, like you said, the most powerful aspect of all of it.
I love that part of it. The other side of that is, guys, if you need to focus on what it is, where you're at. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have to be realistic. I am at this. I've been at this point for how many years? You need to be in a group. Like if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mastermind or a mentor, even if it's a unofficial mentor, like when I was coming up, my unofficial mentor was Rick Mayo. Mm-hmm. I would call him. I didn't pay him. We worked. He helped me out. Yeah. Right. And I asked him officially, I was like, hey, I would love this to be the case. Is that okay with you? And he said, absolutely. I'd love to help. So there was unofficial. I mean, there was a time where I paid him to go out there in the beginning, but after that I was like, man, I would love for you to help. So he helped me out.
To that point though, there is definitely I don't remember the episode, but we talked about like being part of the community or being part of like kind of the hang around, if you may. There is a absolute different result when you sign on the line, you make something official, right? If you hang around the group that's in the group, but you're not in the group, you're only getting 1/10 of the stuff.
Getting the crumbs.
Exactly. Thank you. Right. Yeah. If you're unofficially talking to a coach, but you're never actually committing in joining their program time after time, you paid Rick to get the information.
Yes.
Then he opened up. It wasn't the other way around. You didn't expect him to give away everything and not appreciate or show him what he deserved for that information.
Right.
Guys, this is industry-wide. This is way bigger than the industry. This is people in general. Most of the time, people claim that they are doing something or want something, or that, I'm going to get the results of this because I'm close with these people, but you're close with them. You're not actually part of the group.
Yep.
And when you do actually commit, find a coach, find a mastermind, give them money, make it real. That's what makes things actually, transpire, right? It's like having a client that shows up at your gym every day and sits in the lobby and then leaves and says, oh yeah, I got a great session in today. Well, no, you didn't.
Or they're watching what you do and then they go
or how many times have we seen that, right? Like the person that shows up at a big box gym and to their credit, they don't know what to do. So they're copying what the trainer and the client's doing across the gym and they're mimicking it, right? Do they get some results? Sure. Do they know why they're getting the results? Not a clue. Do they know that they're getting the best results that they can? Not even close.
What's that movie where the guy's in a park and he's a trainer and he's training these folks, and then the girls are around the tree and they're trying to. What movie is that? They're like, come on, guys, it's only $5. Just pay me the dollar. You come into the group. Yeah, they're like, and they run off because the trainer caught them trying to follow the workouts in the park. It was hilarious. Anyway, somebody will kind of chime in. Hey, it was this movie.
But that's the thing is, and there's nothing wrong with you trying to emulate from something, right? And of course, maybe it's the point that you can't afford it yet. That's okay. We'll find something that you can. The idea there is that there's multiple options. You need to move. You need to make a decision on something.
Yes.
And you pursue that growth for yourself, for your facility, for all of that. I mean, it doesn't happen by accident. And if you don't actually really commit and put some skin in the game, you're going to get, like Tim said, the crumbs of the value.
Yeah. Do you want the crumbs, or do you want to be on the inside and get the real scoop and being ahead of the charge? I mean, sometimes we post some results of clients we're working with in the business talk group, and everybody's like, "Oh, I want to do that." Well, you can, but you just got to do it. It's like you can't just expect it to happen if you're just watching other people.
We talked about it in the last episode too, about the comparison too. You can't look at somebody else's success and expect to have the results that they have if you don't do the work that they're doing.
Damn straight. Like, that's it. I mean, like, if you want the results from what others are, that others are doing or creating, you have to emulate from their success. Yeah.
You have to step to that table. You have to treat business like a business. Couple weeks ago, probably a week ago, I posted in the business talk group that, like, hey guys, at this point, a free Gmail account is not enough for business. Like, period. It's $5 from, like, get started. It's $5 a month for GoDaddy, like, or any of these email hosting, domain-based email. But like, that should be a requirement for hosting a fitness business. Like,
stop being a hobbyist.
That's right? Exactly it. Like, if you say you want something more, you say you want time freedom, you say you want financial freedom, but you're not doing anything that leads to that. That's the problem. Right? Stop saying it. Go do it. We're giving you avenues to do it.
I think it's chapter 3 in the book, Built to Grow. Go all in, right?
Yeah.
You have to go all in. I mean, I got a dang license plate with my gym name on it. Like, that's going all in, right? Like, I'm in it. This is what I'm doing. I'm not just kind of one foot in the water, kind of, it'll work out.
Martin Rooney talked about it is the culture, like wearing the suit with his logo 100 times over.
Yeah.
He goes to the beach. He's got his jacket or his clothes. His family's like, why the hell are you doing this, Dad? He goes, because this is it. He goes, if I don't do this, right? Like, if I can't be this committed to the brand, the culture, the movement, how the hell can I expect my employees or even my clients to be?
Yep.
You have to lead from the front, and toe in, dive in. You have to be all in. That's what it's about.
Or don't, and just hang it up. I mean, you don't have to, like, go down the path, right? You chose this path. You decided this was going to be your career, your life. Be serious about it. And pay. You don't have to pay us. Pay somebody and get to the next step, right? And if you're gonna look 5 years down the road and be in the same exact place, it's because you didn't take action. So hopefully, if this kicks somebody in the butt today, that just like, hey, you know what? It's time. You got to do it. We'd love to chat with you. If you're over $30K a month or more, ironcircle.net. Go check it out. I think you'll like it. There's nothing like it in the industry. These are the biggest players. Like we said, we got people that are doing masterminds of their own that are part of this mastermind, which I'm totally okay with. I love it. Check it out, guys. I mean, we're here to help you win. That's why we've done 360 episodes at this point, just giving away the best knowledge that we have. And and there's been a lot of people that have taken what we said on here and had some major wins.
Absolutely.
And if we're going to tell you anything, like, you're going back to the content that converts episode, every piece of content that you produce should get some result for somebody, a little result, right? At some point, if they just do what you ask them to do, they're going to get a result. So if you join our groups, you will get a massive result, right? But these podcast episodes on different topics, on trials, on how to do sales, on marketing, and whatever it is, you can take within that one episode. Our goal is that if you take the information and go do it, you're going to get some result, right? But that's, again, crumbs, if you will. It's not the whole picture. It's a piece of the puzzle.
And it's the long game, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. That's the reason that we put together a coaching program. It's essentially like the foundational systems of a business in a box, if you may. Like, this is what it takes in order to run a successful, personal training business. This is why we put that together, is so that you don't have to figure this out over 13 years, like, it's taken Tim. You want the same level of knowledge. You want to be able to download the things that the struggles, the solutions to the problems that he's done over that time. 8 weeks.
Get it done, guys.
8 weeks. Fast, quick, done.
Yeah, we know you guys like quick wins.
You have to. I mean, nobody wants to sit around and, like, wait for it to come to fruition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Patience. But so anyways, guys, we just wanted to tell you, like, hey, how do you know when you're kind of outgrown it? Just go back and rewind. Like, like, if you look around, they're not doing what you want to do, or if you're in the same place year after year after year, you're in the wrong group. We'd love to chat with you guys. Go take that one and take some action, guys. Go do it. That's it for this episode, guys. Until next time, keep changing lives. See you on the next show. Bye. All right. And thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. And when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.